In today's class, we are baking vanilla cake. So you try to put your pan on your scale. Can you see it?
Yes.
The pan will weigh on the scale. So, and you don't need this so that your measurements will be accurate.
I don't need this number.
You don't need this to be seeing this number. You don't have to put your butter with the pan number. So you have to press on top. It will come to 0 so that you can measure accurately. Then this is our butter. We'll be scooping. We are baking vanilla cake today, and we are making 1 kg.
1 kg?
Yes. Our measurement for butter is 1 kg butter. So you'll be checking here until it gets to 1 kg. Don't pass.
Okay.
So you have to reduce it and make sure it's 1 kg. So it's now 1 kg, right? Okay. So here we have our sugar. Let's measure out our sugar. Always make sure that this is at 0. So you can use
sugar, how many?
You can use from 700 to 1000. Yeah. So it depends on how sugary you want your cake to be.
You see some.
You have to measure accurately. So you can use from 700 to 1000. Let's cream our butter. You will cream it a bit, we'll add our sugar. So we have creamed our butter a little. So right now we're adding in our sugar and we'll continue creaming. So you're supposed to cream this butter and sugar until it's fluffy, until it changes from this yellow color to, let me say, light yellow color. Or even if you are looking at it, it will look as if it's now white. Before you know it's okay for you to use and bake. So as this one is creaming, let's enter kitchen and break the eggs. Be careful.
Okay.
Be careful with the shell, so that no shell will enter inside. So that is 20 eggs that we are using for this recipe. So for this 1 kg, we are making use of 2 cups of milk. So let's measure out our milk. So let's transfer it here and measure the second cup. here we have our 2 cups of milk. Let's set this aside. Then this is our egg. Let's beat our egg. So I want to teach you, this is the pan we're using to bake. So you use your butter to cream your pan. When creaming, concentrate on this edge where there is something like opening. You try to cover it very well with butter so that when you bake, your cake can easily come out from the pan. If you don't do it well, your cake will stick and it won't be able to come out. So that is how to cream your pan. Make sure that you spread your butter. You can use oil, preferably butter, to cream your pan. But if you don't have butter, you can use oil to cream your pan, but spread it very well. You can see it. So let's do the next one. So you can see that we are done. You use flour to dust it. So look at what I'm doing. Spread the flour all over the pan. This is how your pan should be. Are you seeing it? So here we are to measure our flour. Make sure that it's always at 0, as I normally tell you. We are measuring out 1 kg.
1 kg.
Yes. Just like our butter is 1 kg, our flour is supposed to be 1 kg. So you can see it is 1 kg, and that's it for our flour. The next thing we are going to do now is to sieve our flour. So here I have to transfer it to this bowl so that we can sieve. Gently pour in your flour and sieve. You have to sieve your flour up to 3 times before you use it when you are baking. When you are making cakes, it's advised to sieve your flour 3 times so that it will help you incorporate air into your flour. So this is why it's good to sieve your flour. You can see the particles that is here. So you don't know people that are selling this flour how they preserve it, whether they used to cover it very well before closing their shops. So something can enter inside and you will not know. And even from the company where they processed it, maybe they didn't grind what they used to process the flour very well, and thereby leaving some particles inside. For you to achieve a smooth batter when you are baking, always sieve your flour. Let me transfer it back to this bowl again so that we'll sieve the second time and the third time. So you can cut the phone, we'll do that off camera. At this point, I went back to check my butter that has been in the mixer creaming for some time now. So it was perfectly okay. So you can see it. This is the texture you should be looking out for
when making your own cake, it should be able to drop out from your spatula when you carry it up. I had to transfer it into a bowl that I'll be using for mixing those cake. If your mixer can contain the quantity of the cake batter you want to mix, then there is no need for you doing these parts that I did, pouring it inside another bowl. Continue with your mixer. At this point, combine your wet ingredients together, and that's what I did here. Now let the mixing begin. So start by pouring in some of your wet ingredients into your butter and sugar mixture. Mix that properly. Combine everything together, and next you go in with your flour. Also mix that in properly. Remember, you are not just mixing it anyhow you want, but rather you are folding in the flour into your butter. When I say folding your flour into your butter, this is exactly what I mean and how you should do it. I usually divide my flour into two portions, one big portion and a smaller portion when baking, but in this case I didn't do that. Remember, I've mixed the first part of this flour. In the remaining one now, I want to add in my active ingredients. The reason why I normally divide my flour into two parts, bigger and smaller portion, is that when mixing, I usually start with the bigger portion that doesn't have active ingredients inside. Then lastly, I will now add in the small portion that has the baking powder, which is the active ingredients. Reason is so that it doesn't start being active from when I started mixing it. So I usually put it in a small portion and pour that one in lastly. I don't know if you actually understand that, but that is me, and that is how I do it. For this 1 kg recipe, I used 4 tsp of baking powder, and here you can see me adding in flavor as well into the remaining wet ingredients. And for this 1 kg vanilla cake recipe, I used 2 tsp of vanilla flavor. Go in with your wet ingredients for the second time and mix properly. Go in with the second portion of your flour as well and mix. Though it depends on the quantity of the cake you are making. If you are making cake for 250 grams, you can decide to mix everything once, or you divide it 2 times. Same thing goes to when you are making 500 grams of cake. You can mix 2 times. You can as well do 2 times in this 1 kg, or you go 3 times. It depends on what actually works for you and how many times you intend to alternate this process. I went in with the last part of the wet ingredients, mixed that, and lastly went in with the last part of the dry ingredients. Mix that as well, pour into your baking pan and bake for 45 minutes depending on your oven temperature. Please, if you have watched up to this moment and have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe, share and comment on my videos. Turn on your bell notification as well to know whenever I post a new video. Thank you. I love you. God bless you. Tap it so that the air that is trapped inside the batter will go out. You can see how I measured the cake into my baking pan. I decided to wait so that I'll achieve the same level of cake and the same measurement. So we are going to bake this cake for 45 minutes.
So it's ready. So here is our cake. You can see how lush this cake is. It's very soft. So let's cut through and see what our cake looks like. So you can see that. Look at how soft this cake is. You can see that. So use this recipe and let me know how yours turned out on the comment section. With this, I've come to the end of this video. Thank you and watch out for our next video. Bye and God bless you. Don't forget to subscribe.